At authorsbroadcast.com, we produce and display book video trailers, short 1 or 2 minute videos that help prospective readers learn more about a specific new book. In this episode of Author Showcase, we introduce a number of authors we met at iBAM, the Irish Book, Art, and Music Festival at the Irish American Heritage Center in Chicago. Be prepared to make a note of any books that may be of interest to you. Now sit back and enjoy Author Showcase.
Hi, my name is Kathy O'Donnell Goodman, and I am the author of Guinness and Gefilte Fish. It is available on Amazon, and I just published it this June. I'm very excited to share it with my readers. It's about an Irish Catholic girl who meets a Jewish man at a wedding, and they fall in love, and it has all the conflicts and ups and downs of an interfaith relationship. It is fiction. It is based on my real life. I am married to Jordan Goodman, but the characters are strictly fictional. So the title Guinness and Gefilte Fish came from the idea of two people from two different cultures getting to know each other and learning about their differences. Guinness, of course, is Guinness beer from Ireland, and gefilte fish is a fish that is traditionally served during Jewish holidays. Well, Kelly O'Hara, who is the heroine, she meets Nate Silverman at a wedding, and they are instantly attracted to each other, but their friends both warn them that do they really want to get into a relationship with somebody from a different religion. But they move ahead thinking that they're really not going to get married. They just want to have some fun together, and then as they do get more serious, they meet each other's families, and some of the conflicts starts to arise. And they also learn about each other's cultures. Kelly goes to a bris when Nate's sister delivers twin boys. They have problems that they need to overcome. A bris is the circumcision of a Jewish male to bring him into the covenant on the 8th day of life. You can get Guinness and Gefilte Fish online at Amazon.com. It's available in the printed version like here, or also for Kindle and iPad.
Until misfortune befell me, that forced me to leave from the sun. Far away from my
Hi there. I'm Arthur Kola. I'm the author of 5 novels, and I brought 3 of them with me this afternoon. They represent a broad spectrum of genre, which I cover in historical mysteries and ancient legends. My newest novel, Stolen Christmas, is centered right here in Chicago. It's kind of a tale of a Romeo and Juliet mixed in with the spirit of the bells of St. Mary's, in that a church is about to be destroyed the day after Christmas, and a little boy finds out that his school and church is going to be torn down for a land development project. As a result, he concocts a plot to stop Christmas from happening. He enlists his teenage sister and her secret boyfriend because they come from different cultural backgrounds, and therefore their relationship is frowned upon. And as they concoct and they enact this dastardly deed, they meet a white-bearded stranger. And this white-bearded stranger takes him on a merry adventure through Christmas time in Chicago as he teaches the city about love, faith, and the power to solve problems. The next book goes back into Renaissance times and history. This is called The Brooch. It's a tale of the lives of 6 sons who become intertwined in the solving of a 500-year-old mystery revolving around the art and loves of Michelangelo, the Renaissance painter and sculptor of the David, the Sistine Chapel, the Pietà. And Michelangelo left for the world a message about love and how he felt about love in his art, because he could never express it in his own personal life. And these 6 guys are trying to bring that message to the world. One of them, however, seeks revenge to destroy that message because of the content of it being based on faith and the mixture of divine and human affection. Probably the most famous of all the Celtic legends is King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. In the Shamrock Crown, I tried to bring a reverse of what Mark Twain did with his Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, in that I bring an American family to Ireland and Britain, where they're searching out the ancient relics of Camelot. Of course, that would be Excalibur, and eventually the Holy Grail. As you get a little mystery tour through Britain and Ireland, you encounter, for the first time in the 21st century, King Arthur and his knights in a tale that will kind of wow and even give you a cameo appearance of Prince William of Britain. All of my books, including these 3, may be found at legendarytalesofArthurCola.com and throughout the Amazon.com system and on Kindle.
Rage runs red in the small Iowa town of Cedar Falls, where beautiful high school senior Jenny San Giovanni has an ex-boyfriend with a bad temper. Classmate Tad McGreevy possesses a special gift. He sees auras around others that tell him whether they are good or evil. While asleep, Tad suffers vivid and violent nightmares where he relives the crimes of the evildoers. When best buddy Stevie Scranton goes missing, Tad vows to do everything he can to find him. Now he must learn to control his paranormal powers to save the ones he loves. Enlisting the help of a retired policeman and a group of volunteers, this ragtag team of detectives discovers a monstrous evil more sinister than anyone could imagine. Red is for Rage is the second novel in the award-winning Color of Evil series by Connie Corcoran Wilson. William F. Nolan says of Wilson, "She's good, damn good." Red is for Rage by Connie Corcoran Wilson is available online and at your favorite bookseller.
Hi, my name is Monica Doherty, and I'm here at the 5th annual iBAM at the Irish American Heritage Center. And I'm here this year. I'm the co-author with Mary Beth Sammons of our book Images of America, the Irish American Heritage Center, which is a book about this great place where we're holding this. And then this year I'm also here with my own new book, which is a historical novel, Rose's Ring. And it's a bit of my own family history and a bit of author's artistic license. But it's all based on true historical fact, and it centers around a family ring that I have now, which was taken from someone who died on the Lady Elgin, which happened here in the waters of Lake Michigan. And it's tracing back how they got on that ship from Ireland in the years of the Great Hunger. And the Lady Elgin was a steamship, a very popular steamship in the years 1850s up to 1860, and it was chartered by the Union Guards of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they chartered it to raise money to buy guns because they had been disarmed by the governor of Wisconsin. And on a stormy night in September in 1860, at 2 in the morning, the ship was rammed accidentally, or maybe not, no one knows, but unfortunately 400 people lost their lives, and among them was my ancestor and his wife and their small baby. Rose's Ring is available at Amazon.com. I believe it's going to be a Kindle book soon, and barnesandnoble.com. And you can also get it at the publisher, and I think it's www.sunstonepress.com.
I'm Mary Beth Sammons, and I'm the co-author of Living Life as a Thank You, The Transformative Power of Gratitude in Your Daily Living. And I also have co-authored Living Life as a Thank You, a journal, and The Courage Companion. They're all part of a series of books that came out of Living Life as a Thank You. We actually wrote this book before the recession hit, and the book was kind of successful. It's the stories of people who have been through some adversity, but blessings. They feel that that adversity has brought blessings to their lives. But after the recession, we got so many calls from people who said that they started reading the book and that they had more stories. So we're writing a sequel right now, The Grateful Life, that's coming out this spring. But the book is really about people. You meet some people and they say, oh, I'm so blessed. And then they tell you that, their house flooded and all these friends came to help them and rally around it. And the insurance isn't covering anything, but they feel blessed because the angels that came and were there for them. A lot of the stories are about people that lost their jobs because we're going through the recession, and how if they hadn't lost their job, they wouldn't have found this new opportunity. Maybe they wrote a book or they tried something that they never had done before. It's really, when you incorporate gratitude into your life, you find that blessings do kind of come to you more. And scientists, we have a couple scientists, one from University of California, Davis, who said that people that are grateful or that are, happy for what they have instead of being curmudgeons, they actually have lower blood pressure and they have less chance for depression. So there's a health benefit to being grateful, as well as when you're exuding that you're happy and thankful for what's around you, you're a happy person to be around. And people say all the time, well, all these bad things have happened to me. How am I supposed to be thankful for this? And some of the things are you have to learn. I myself, I've lost jobs. Journalism's pretty much gone. And I think if you start looking at things and you start paying attention every day to the blessings that are happening, one way to do that is to write them down when you wake up in the morning, of things that are going to happen that day that you look forward to and you're grateful that they're going to happen. And then at the end of the day, to sit down with that same journal at your bedside and say, what happened that was good today? And instead of looking at what happened that was bad today, you start realizing that even you lost your job, but yet somebody called you up and said, there's this other opportunity. And so you start looking at what is good that's happening. And the books are filled with stories like that of people, ordinary people that have had just an extraordinary way of looking at their lives. Okay, the books are available on Amazon, and they're also for sale at bookstores, Barnes & Noble, any of the major bookstores. And Amazon's probably the easiest way to get it.
Hi, I'm Michael Carroll. I'm a Celtic artist and most recently an author. Surprisingly, I found myself in that position, but my book is called Railroad Man, and it is the story of my grandfather, Mike Carroll, who was from the County Limerick, and he grew up as a farmer's son in West Limerick in the turn of the century, 1880s to 1900. We came over very, very late. 1904, he became a section foreman on the Chicago Junction Railroad, which is the railroad for the Chicago stockyards. They would bring in the beef as live animals from the west and one end of the yards, and then ship it out to New York as frozen beef on the other. And my grandfather came over, got himself a job as a gandy dancer, which is, as you may know, is a common railroad worker. But very soon he worked his way up and was a general foreman. Died very young in 1927, as a lot of people did at the time. Sad case of pneumonia, and left my grandmother and for my father, who was 5 years old at the time. So he never knew his father, and this is my way of correcting that situation. I now know more about my father's father than my own father did about his own father. And this is my way of preserving what's left and passing it on down to my nieces and nephews. Hopefully sometime in the next 50 years or to 100 years, someone will want the information. And the thing about genealogical work is that all it takes is one generation to drop the ball, and all that information is lost forever. So this is my way of preserving it, and thank God we have the internet where nothing ever dies, and the information will be there 100 years from now, I hope. And hopefully one of my nieces or nephews in the next 50 or 100 years will write the next book and continue the story. But that's where I'm coming from, and that's my book, and I thank you for listening.
Hi, my name is T. Evan Williams. I went to Fenwick High School in Oak Park and haven't lived in Chicago since. I was a lawyer and a judge up in Wisconsin, and then I moved to Ireland and fell in love with the love of my life, a woman who's been dead for 400 years. Her name was Eleanor Butler Fitzgerald, the rebel Countess of Desmond. And I go down in the tomb after her, which I found her tomb in Sligo Town. So I went down and interviewed her and got her story, and that's what I'm telling. Eleanor was one of those who attempted to resist the final Tudor conquest of Ireland. Well, it turned out not to be as final as they thought, but it seemed so at the time. She and her, by 20 years old, her husband had been shot, taken into custody, thrown into the tower, and left her as a 20-year-old girl to run his huge empire known as the Earldom of Desmond. For 18 years, they struggled against the forces of the crown, trying to proclaim him a traitor so they could take his land. She failed, but then she rose again and married a great Gaelic lord, the O'Connor Sligo. And that's where I found her, and that's where I'm going to take her. If you are interested at all, you can find this book at Amazon.com under T. Evan Williams. Or you can come to my website, rebelcountessofdesmond.com. Oh, I know. T. Evan Williams.
Still in operation, and
She's speaking to children.
She said, well, I got a shopper. So I was going to move on, and something made me ask, is your car trained that if you're driving along and you see stuff sitting out by the curb, your car goes, "Arr!" and you've got to back up and check it out, and you've got to see if this is just too good to throw away? She said, yeah. Sometimes I have to go home and get the teenager next door to help me. She said she had 3 Lazy Boy loungers in her garage. There's no room for the car. Why? Do you need them? Do you use them? No, but they're too good to throw away. Do you see, when we start saying the reason, when you say the reason out loud, I'm keeping 3 Lazy Boy loungers because they're too good to throw away, then let's find ways to get rid of them. But we need to start questioning. Why am I keeping stuff I don't need to use? So let me ask you, why might you? Maybe not you, but why? Hi, my name is Rita Emmett, and I'm here at iBAM, IBAM, Irish Book Arts Music, and my book is the Clutter Busting Handbook. Now, what's Irish about it? Well, think about it. All Irish people are sentimental. They all keep sentimental stuff. They all have a lot of clutter. So I just finished giving a talk on clutter. I'm also was the world's greatest pack rat. Came close to being a hoarder, and I realized clutter does not come from being lazy, messy, or disorganized. Isn't that great news? It comes from only 4 habits. And the 4 habits, the first letter of each habit spells sins, S-I-N-S. So this book is about repent from the deadly sins of clutter. And that's what we've been talking about here. S-I-N-S. The S is, do you save stuff you don't need or use? And I is, do you insist on bringing stuff into your life you don't need or use? We're talking about 4 different habits. Those 2 habits probably are the definition of a pack rat. Too much stuff coming in, not enough going out. The N of sins is never assigning a place for stuff to be put. And the final S is setting something down and saying, I'll put it away later. And that's really what our grandmothers taught us. You know, what grandma used to say, a place for everything and everything in its place. So those are the habits, and that's where clutter comes from, those 4 habits, not from being lazy or messy or disorganized. I have a book on procrastination, this one on clutter, and one on stress, and they are available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, bookstores, and my website, which is Rita, very cleverly named, ritaemmett.com, RITAEMMETT.com. And if you like to learn by reading, we do have books, but if you like to learn by listening, we have CDs, and if you like to learn by watching TV, we have DVDs, and we even have some online courses. And I have a free tip sheet that comes out by email once a month, and all you do is just go to the first page of ritaemmett.com and sign up, and it comes to you by email.
Hospital pharmacist Alex Benedict's work is a perpetual battle against death, and he is also personally haunted by its grim specter. When he happens upon a shocking audio recording that leads him to conclude one of his own colleagues may be involved in the mysterious demise of several patients, the suspect claims he is in the possession of a powerful compound that will shatter the world of medicine. After witnessing its seemingly miraculous effect, Benedict embarks upon a quest to solve the riddle. If he can piece together the trail of clues, Benedict is promised the opportunity to lift death's eternal shroud from his own life. In a frantic life and death chase stretching up and down the East Coast, Benedict must elude the lethal pursuit of the sinister cabal who want the formula for themselves. In the story's stunning climax, Benedict is forced to make an incredible, life-altering choice. David Perry, the national best-selling author of The Cyclops Conspiracy, once again demonstrates his consummate skill as a thrill master with another brilliantly woven, exhilarating, and poignant tale of suspense and intrigue. Perry challenges his readers with a clever, fast-paced plot, offering bombshell twists at every turn. Get your copy of Second Chance today.
Hi, my name is Jerry O'Neill. This is the book I wrote. It's called Poetry from the Heart of an Irish Soul. The book itself is a composition or a compilation of all the events that occur in a man's life or every man's life. There's a poem in there dedicated to JFK. There's some eulogies in there for personal people that we have lost, parents. There's a patriot in there. There's a poem called Chosen, which is for the Jewish people. There is a poem called Himself. There's a variety of different poems. There's an anniversary poem in there for people who are struggling with addiction, and they use that basically as a touchstone. The poems in the book, the ones that I just mentioned, Patriot being another one, are illustrated and framed and probably on the walls of about 3,000 people in the city of Chicago. Mayor Daley being one of them, Sister Rosemary Conley. Quite a few people have some of the himselfs and herselfs on their wall. The Patriot is on the walls of many, many people that have suffered different pains and lost limbs for this country. It's in the Veterans Administration Hospital. It's in the USO. It's in many, many places. And the anniversary poem celebrates the one-year anniversary or further anniversaries of people who are celebrating their 1 year or multi-year anniversaries from whatever addiction it was, whether it was drugs or was alcohol. And basically, Poetry from the Irish Soul is just an everyman's look at life. And I think that it appeals to many people on many levels for the simple reason that it's just basically what life is. Poetry from the Irish Soul is available at Jerry, Jerry, period, O'Neill, Oneill, at gmail.com. The price of the book is $20. This poem is called Danny Boy, the Answer. This is what Danny Boy would have said to his father upon finding his grave when he finally found it. It's the thought that I had when I found my dad's grave for the first time, and it would be the last verse of Danny Boy. I finally come and found where you are lying, and now your death's a cold reality. For as I stand upon the ground above you, I realize you're forever gone from me. And I shall come and watch the seasons change above you, and pray someday we'll reunited be, when once again we'll laugh and be together, never more to part for all eternity.
You're watching Author Showcase.
Millions of dollars are missing. Several partners are dead, and one man is determined to solve the mystery and save his company. But who can he trust? The world of high finance is a jungle where the naive will be eaten alive. The Tipping Point is a story of greed, complicity, fraud, then ultimately resurrection and restoration. From the slopes of a luxury ski resort to corporate boardrooms, the story turns even more deadly in a steamy Caribbean hotel suite, sending everyone involved scrambling for a safe haven. A culture of corporate cannibals has the remaining partners running for their lives, while the SEC and FBI try to piece together the facts of a conspiracy far bigger than anyone could have imagined. Full of action, adventure, romance, and intrigue. Assassination, suicide, and financial ruin are the tipping point.
Keating heard a popping sound over the noise of the radio and instantly felt the car swerve left across the double yellow lines. The Porsche began to fishtail. Black ice caught the car when the left front tire had blown. He fought to keep control, but he had been hitting 70 and was losing the fight. He overcorrected, heading for the guardrail. Jesus, please don't let this happen. With the left tire shredded, he was running on the rim and wasn't able to steer back left away from the precipice. He knew better than to hit the brakes and panic. He was on the downside of the hill and was picking up speed, or so it seemed. He chanced the brakes a light touch, just to keep the nose straight, but the road made a sharp turn left. He crashed through the rail. His vehicle was airborne. The car was free-falling through a mile of frigid air.
Author Walter Danley draws on his observations as a commercial real estate investor, plus a vivid imagination to craft the characters and environment you will experience in The Tipping Point. Order your copy today at Amazon.com.
In today's fast-paced business environment, people want to know as quickly as possible what your website is about and how you can help them solve their problems. A fast show and tell will keep visitors on your site longer and help them better understand your product or service. What keeps many small and mid-sized companies from including video is fear of production. You may not be sure what to say. Do I need to be on camera? Do we need to hire a production company? Well, the answer is not necessarily. There are unlimited ways to tell a story. Reno Lovison Marketing specializes in non-video video production. We use voiceover, music, photos, motion graphics, and screenshots to give your web visitors a quick tour of your site. Our goal is to take about a minute to assure your visitors that they're in the right place, let them know what you do, and give them some quick hints on how to navigate your site so they can easily find the information they seek. No need to have a talking head. No need for a full day of on-site video production. Just a simple phone conference and review of your website is usually all we need. Don't put it off any longer. Email us today and we'll show you how to get started with a quick, economical video that will help convert visitors into customers.
Hi, my name is Jordan, and my favorite fantasy costume to dress up as is Captain America. Because one, he's big, he's buff. 2, he's all American. 3, who else is gonna save our world from crazy aliens that want to, take us alive and, do crazy things to us? So that's all I'm saying. I want to be that Captain America and save the day.